Once you are signed up and at this stage, then you can follow these steps to use Anchor to record your first podcast, episode, or interview, and I'll show you how. So first, we see this area where it says at the bottom, tap here to get started on your next episode. It may say first episode for you. So I'm going to hit the tools button. Once I hit the tools button, you'll see this great menu bar has populated and I have all these options. I can choose voice messages, music, to record, go into my library, add sounds, interludes, you name it. So we want to start here at the start recording. If it's just an episode for myself, I'm not inviting anyone along, I'll just hit record and it will begin recording me immediately. If I want to invite a friend to join, I will hit the invite friends to join button and it will generate a link for me to be able to send to my friends immediately. So for starters, I'll just record myself. As you can see, once I'm done, it will allow me to preview my audio and I can save this segment and this could be the full podcast and stop right here if I hit the purple save button in the bottom right corner, or I can continue recording by simply hitting the record button. So for purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to hit the play button so that we can preview the audio. Hi, I'm Mo. Thank you for listening to this tutorial of how to use Anchor. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day. Sounds good. Let's say we want to add a little background music to that intro. So I'm going to add in the Elmore Heights sound. You see it there down below, and we'll press play. Hi, I'm Mo. Thank you for listening to this tutorial. So you see how that instantly added audio. I didn't have to do anything fancy. The audio is already there. So we'll remove the audio. That was just for tutorial purposes. And I am going to undo instead of saving this. But I'll also show you how, if you need to just make a quick clip, you can pick right up where you left off before we move on. So we've got that first segment. Now I'm going to hit record again. Bam, done. Continue that. You see the seconds continued. And now if we were to listen, it would give me the full clip that I made before and the one I added when I press record again. So we're going to undo all of that. There is always going to be some type of red flag before you delete anything. So it makes it really easy to use and make sure you're not screwing it up. Are you sure you want to delete the last segment you recorded? Yes, I do, because it was just for the tutorial. So I'm going to hit the X. It's going to ask me again, am I sure that I want to delete this? And I'm sure. The next part I'm going to show you here is if I wanted to get started on the episode with a friend. So I'm going to hit the invite friends to join link. At the top it says record with friends, so you know that you're there. You know that you are waiting for hit tools, invite friends to join, waited for the link to be generated that we're going to send to our friends. Once you have finished that episode with your friend who joined, you would be able to go to the library, find the recording that you just made, and add it. So I'll show you that part. I'm going to hit tools. I'm going to go to the library. I'm going to do a random segment I may have done in the past for tutorial purposes. So I hit the add it to the episode. Absolutely. Anything in my library here, I can add to the episode. I can add 5 different segments from several different recordings to make one complete podcast. Now we are in the editor screen. At the top right, you see the option to publish. You don't want to hit that until you've made your edits. So here you also see the option to add a sponsored segment. That's a really cool feature with Anchor, which allows you to generate revenue, about a penny per stream once you're getting started, until other people come in and decide to offer you sponsorships. But Anchor offers you a sponsorship immediately. So I can go in and hit add a sponsored segment. It will allow me to add a pre-recorded commercial, so to speak, that I've made, and decide where I want it to show up in the podcast by clicking on that segment and moving it to where I see fit. Once I have rearranged the segments to where I want them to be, and if there are any errors, Anchor will let me know. So I'll hit save. Oh, you notice that went gray. Anchor will not allow you to post your commercial or your sponsor segment at the end of the podcast. It must be at the beginning or within it. So I'm going to slide that up. I'm going to hit save. And you see how it comes back green. That lets you know everything's working and has went in fine. Now you may want to add some music in between your segments, which is fine. It makes complete sense. So all I did was hit the Add Tools button. Once there, I can add music from voice messages. I can ask my listeners to send in some voice messages. I can add music from Spotify if I turn off those sponsor segments, which I wouldn't suggest because Anchor has music built right in. So I use the Interludes feature to add in from this long list of different sounds that you may want to hear. By pressing play, it will allow me to sample the audio, or I can just add it in. And once it's added, I hit the X. It is in my segment list, and now I can rearrange it by clicking on it and moving it to where I want it to be. Now let's say I've gotten here and I don't like the way this sounds. That's not my style of music. What is the point of that? So I'll just engage the 3 dots on the right, and it will give me the option to delete that music from my episode. If I engage the 3 dots on the right, I can also delete the segment that I recorded, add background music to the segment that I recorded, and edit the audio. First, we want to talk about editing the audio. On the edit audio screen, once it loads, you've got a few simple features that give you foolproof ways to edit your podcast. You can make splits, you can remove it, but until you hit the big save button, none of your edits will stick. So I love that feature because you make a mistake, everybody does, but you haven't lost your audio. So wow, that's really tight. I'm going to zoom in by pinching the screen, and the app helps me to navigate the end and the beginning of my video. So let's just say at minute 10, I want to cut out a few seconds of audio. So I'm going to slide this black line up until I am aligned with minute 10. And from minute 10 to minute 10 and 30 seconds, we're going to get rid of that audio. How do I do it? I'm going to simply hit split and then play from here. And if you agree with me, then pause. Now, once I get here, I'm going to pick up on that same black line. Once the line is purple, you know that you have entered a split point correctly. And with that same black line, I'm going to get it aligned at 10 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'm going to split. Tap split, places. Okay. Now, in order to get rid of that 30 seconds of audio that I just can't stand, I'm going to use my 2 fingers to expand the screen to make sure that there's enough space for me to be able to press and hold the area in between those 2 splits that I made, and that will allow me to delete the segment. Once it becomes gray, it is not set in stone, so at any time I can move this back a little or move it forward a little or just move it right on the edge of a piece of audio that I wanted and modify it, okay? But once I hit save in the top right corner, I have an option here. Do I want to save that into the 2 split segments so I can move one around and maybe put some music in between the other or put a sponsored segment into the other, or do I want to save it as one segment? If you are editing a segment, it would be best to save it as one segment. That way it creates a free flow of audio. If you are wanting to split that into 2 pieces and maybe insert a little music or insert a sound in between those clips, you would split it into 2. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to save as segment 1. Saved, and as it's processing, you can also see now that it has updated to show that it has been edited at the end to let me know, hey Mo, those edits that you made did stick and you don't have much to worry about. Once that is done processing, and I like the way the episode is set up, then I'm going to hit save. And in the gray, you can see under this red line, you have the option to preview, which will let you listen to what you've set up, or pausing in the bottom right corner, you can go ahead and add your details under the red line in the right. And here it will allow you to talk about what you want the name of this episode to be, what you want the description to say, and I edit that by simply hitting the buttons in the top right corner, updating my episode details, and voila, I'm putting in my title here, tutorial, episode 1. I'm putting in my description. This is a tutorial. And I am able to put in or change my album art. I am going to be able to say this is season 2. This is season 1, episode 15, and publish. Okay. Once I hit that publish now button, guys, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. If you need to still make changes, you can always go here to this screen where you will see that the episode is published, all those details. But just hit those the 3 dots in the top right corner. Update the episode details at any time, whether it's a day, 2 years after you've made the podcast. That's one of the things that I really like about Anchor, is that it makes it easy for you to fix those little mistakes, for you to grow over time. So it doesn't have to be perfect day 1. You have time to come back in and edit, and the draft will stay there to the day that you want the episode to go live. I think that pretty much covers it, guys. If you have any questions for me about how to start your podcast and about the Anchor app, how to start your podcast, navigating the app, other tools that you could use for podcasting, let me know. I'm always here to help, and I will tag my contact information in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me for this tutorial. I hope it helped. And if there's anything else I can help you guys with, please let me know. I'm always looking for new content ideas. Thank you for listening. in watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.